Right now, your mind is the thing standing between you and the life you dream of. Have you ever felt the weight of doubt pressing on your chest or the pull of distraction dragging you away? In the next few minutes, you will discover simple, powerful steps to train your thoughts, build unshakable focus, and reclaim control over your time and energy. You will learn how to silence the voice that says you cannot, replace it with confidence, and take immediate action towards your goals. Imagine waking up with clarity instead of confusion and closing the day with progress instead of regret. Each insight in this video is designed to speak directly to your struggles and desires, offering clear solutions that you can use right away. Stick around and commit to one practice that will change your mindset forever. Click subscribe, keep watching, and let's transform your thinking starting now. Number 1, stop chasing comfort and start training your discipline. Most people don't stay stuck because they're not smart. It's not because they're not capable. It's not even because they don't want more from life. The real reason is much simpler than that. It's because they've gotten too comfortable. Too many people spend their days avoiding effort, escaping challenge, and chasing whatever feels good right now. And that right there is the trap. That's why they stay stuck. That's why they never grow. That's why they never build the life they once dreamed about. Comfort feels good in the moment. It gives you a break. It lets you breathe. But it also keeps you from building the muscle of discipline. And discipline is what moves the needle. Discipline is what shapes your future. Discipline is what allows you to wake up tomorrow and say, I earned this. Not because life handed you a break, but because you trained yourself to rise above your old habits. Comfort is easy, but ease is a lie. It whispers, rest a little more, skip the hard work, do it tomorrow. But tomorrow turns into weeks, and those weeks turn into years. And then you wonder why you're not where you want to be. The answer is simple. You kept giving in to comfort, and you kept ignoring the one thing that could have changed everything. Discipline. Discipline means doing what you said you would do long after the mood you set it in has passed. It means setting the alarm and actually getting up when it goes off. It means putting down the junk food and making something that fuels your body. It means opening the book when your mind says scroll. It means saving money when your emotions say spend. It means saying no when the old version of you says yes. It's in the small choices, and those small choices become your future. There's a part of you that already knows this. You feel it every time you skip something you promised yourself you'd do. That little voice that says, you could have done better. That's not shame. That's your higher self reminding you of your potential. That's your future self calling you forward. That voice is trying to wake you up, not to punish you, but to push you. Because you're not here to coast. You're here to become. You're here to grow into someone strong, someone reliable, someone unstoppable. And you cannot become that by chasing ease. Discipline is not punishment. It's self-respect. When you show up for yourself, you prove that your word matters. And when your word starts to matter to you, you begin to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, you stop depending on the world to hand you anything. You start building it with your own hands. And there's power in that. There's power in knowing that no matter how hard life gets, you can still make progress. Because you've trained your mind to do what's right, not what's easy. Most people will never understand this. They'll choose comfort every single time. They'll laugh at effort. They'll make fun of discipline. They'll call it obsessive. They'll say you're too serious. You know why? Because your discipline threatens their excuses. Your consistency reminds them of their own lack of it. But don't let that shake you. Don't let their noise become your soundtrack. You don't owe comfort to anyone. You owe growth to yourself. If you want to live a life most people can only talk about, you've got to do the things most people are unwilling to do. You've got to train when you don't feel like it. You've got to read when you'd rather scroll. You've got to sit with your thoughts when distraction is one click away. You've got to stretch yourself, not because it feels good, but because it shapes you. Comfort never changed a life. Not one. But discipline builds everything. It builds peace. It builds pride. It builds habits that carry you when motivation dies out. Because motivation will die out. That's just the truth. You won't always feel like showing up. That's not a failure. That's human. But if you build discipline, you show up anyway. And when you do that enough times, it becomes who you are. It's no longer effort. It's identity. You don't have to do everything all at once. You don't need to master life overnight. But you do need to start. Start small. Start with one thing. One promise to yourself. One new habit. One moment where you choose growth over comfort. And then another and another. Stack them. Build that mental muscle every day. That's how it starts. That's how change is born. Not in one big move, but in 100 small decisions no one sees. And over time, those small decisions compound. That's the part people don't see. They look at someone's success and call it luck. But they didn't see the discipline behind the scenes. They didn't see the early mornings. They didn't see the skip parties. They didn't see the inner battles. But and if you choose to build that kind of discipline, you'll know what it feels like to look in the mirror and see someone who didn't quit on themselves. Your future isn't waiting for you to get lucky. It's waiting for you to get serious. It's waiting for you to stop escaping, to stop delaying, to stop chasing comfort and start chasing growth. You have a choice every day, a real choice. You can either keep doing what's easy or start doing what's necessary. You can keep escaping or you can start building, but you cannot do both. So if you're tired of being stuck, if you're tired of feeling behind, if you're tired of breaking promises to yourself, good. That means you're ready. Ready to face your patterns. Ready to stop blaming and start changing. And change doesn't come from hoping. It comes from doing, from showing up again and again, from training your mind. Not just once, but every single day. Train your mind to choose discomfort when it builds your future. Train your mind to stay steady when things get hard. Train your mind to follow through when it's inconvenient. And the more you do that, the more powerful you become. Not because life gets easier, but because you've made yourself stronger. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being committed. It's about choosing what matters over what tempts. It's about becoming someone you can count on. And when you do that, when you stop chasing comfort and start training your discipline, you won't just change your day. You'll change your life. Number 2, build daily habits that protect your financial future. If you don't build the right habits today, you'll wake up one day wondering where all your time and money went. The truth is, your financial future isn't something that magically appears. It's something you build one day at a time with small, consistent habits. And the earlier you start, the stronger your foundation becomes. Most people want success. They want freedom. They want to feel secure, but they don't have the habits in place to earn any of it. Wishing doesn't change your future. Discipline does. Habits do. The reality is every single day, you are either adding to your future or subtracting from it. The way you spend, the way you save, the way you manage your time and energy, it all matters. It all adds up. You don't have to make $1 million in a day. You just have to start doing the things that protect your future. That means making better decisions when nobody's watching. That means saying no to things that take you off course and saying yes to the practices that move you forward. If you want financial peace tomorrow, you must make intentional decisions today. You can't keep repeating the same cycle, spending carelessly, avoiding responsibility, procrastinating, making excuses, and expect to wake up one day with freedom. That's not how it works. You don't get lucky. You get prepared. And preparation starts with daily habits. Start with something simple. Track your expenses. Know where your money goes. Most people don't even know how much they spend in a week. They live by emotion, not intention. And emotions are expensive. But when you pay attention to your spending, you start to think before you act. You stop making random decisions. And you start aligning with your goals. Build the habit of saving, even if it's just a small amount. Put it aside like it matters, because it does. The habit of saving isn't about the number. It's about training yourself to respect your money. When you save consistently, you're sending a message to your future self. I've got your back. And that habit compounds. Over time, it builds stability. It builds options. It gives you breathing room when life gets hard. And it always does. Cut out the habits that keep draining you. Stop trying to impress people who don't even think about you. You don't need to buy the latest gadget. You don't need to keep up with trends. You need to build a life that gives you peace. Financial discipline isn't about living poor. It's about living with purpose. It's about having control. It's about waking up with choices instead of waking up with stress. Use your time wisely. Learn something every day. Build a habit of personal development. Money doesn't grow by chance. It grows through skills, knowledge, and smart decision making. So invest in yourself. Read, watch, listen, reflect, study people who have done what you want to do. Don't just admire them. Learn from them and apply it. Because knowing what to do is useless if you never act on it. Get in the habit of setting goals. Don't just float through life hoping things work out. Have targets. Have reasons. Write them down, review them. Discipline your thinking every morning to remind yourself why you're doing this. Habits built around a clear purpose are the ones that last. When your habits serve a mission, they become easier to follow. Not easy, but easier. Build routines that reduce decision fatigue. The more decisions you have to make, the more likely you are to make bad ones. But when you create structure, when you follow a routine, you remove chaos. You make your days smoother. You get more done with less stress. That's how successful people move. They don't wing it. They plan. They prepare. They protect their focus. They don't waste energy on things that don't matter. Be mindful of who you spend time with. Your daily habits are often shaped by your environment. If you're around people who waste money, avoid responsibility, and never think about the future, you'll slowly pick up their habits, even if you don't realize it. But if you spend time with disciplined people, people who track, plan, learn, and grow, you'll start to rise. That's not a theory. That's a fact of life. Create systems that automate your progress. Set up automatic transfers to your savings account. Schedule a time every week to review your finances. Use tools that help you stay organized. Remove the need for motivation by making your habits automatic. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent, even on the days you don't feel like it. And systems help you stay on track when motivation disappears. Wake up earlier if you have to. Go to bed earlier if it helps. Create space in your day to reflect, to plan, to build. You can't grow if you're always reacting. You have to carve out time to work on yourself before the world pulls you in 100 directions. Those quiet moments of intention are where your future is built. One step at a time, one day at a time. You don't need more talent. You don't need more luck. You need better habits. You need to consistently do the little things that build a strong, peaceful, financially secure future. And that kind of life doesn't just happen. It's earned. Not in big moments, but in small ones. The habit of discipline. The habit of planning. The habit of restraint. The habit of learning. These are the building blocks of a life that works. You might not see the results right away. That's normal. Don't get discouraged. Habits take time to show their reward, but they're always working. Every time you choose not to spend unnecessarily, you're building character. Every time you choose to study instead of scroll, you're building your value. Every time you put something aside for later, you're building your freedom. That's the truth. You want to protect your financial future? Then stop treating your habits like they don't matter. Because they do. They're the quiet workers behind the scenes of every successful life. Build them now, not next month, not when it's convenient, now. Because the future doesn't wait, and if you don't build your habits, you'll be forced to deal with the consequences. And regret is far more expensive than discipline. Take this seriously. Treat your future like it matters, because it does. You get one life, one chance to build something meaningful. Don't waste it. Build the habits that protect what matters most. Start today. Stay consistent. Stay focused. And one day you'll look back with pride, knowing you built it all by choice, not by chance. Number 3, master your thoughts before they master your actions. If you don't learn how to control your thoughts will control your life. Every outcome you face begins first in your mind. Every action you take, every word you speak, every habit you build, it all starts with a thought. That's how powerful your mind is. And yet most people let it run wild. They let fear decide. They let doubt speak first. They let insecurity take over. And then they wonder why nothing in their life moves forward. The truth is, you cannot create a strong, focused life with a noisy, scattered mind. You've got to become the one who leads your mind, not the one who follows it. That takes effort. It takes awareness. You have to start paying attention to what's going on up there. Because if you don't recognize what you're thinking, you won't recognize how you're being controlled. You'll think it's just life being unfair or bad luck showing up again. But it's not. It's the same patterns repeating because your thoughts are running the show and you're not interrupting them. Start by observing your thoughts. When something doesn't go your way, what's the first thing your mind says? When you're faced with discomfort, what excuses does your mind offer? When you're about to try something new, what voice shows up first? That's where the work begins. You can't master your thoughts if you don't even notice them. Most people walk around with thoughts that tell them they're not enough. They can't change. They'll never be successful. And they believe them. Without question, without challenge, that has to stop. Your thoughts aren't facts. They're habits. They're programs you've picked up over time. Some came from family. Some came from failure. Some came from fear. But none of them have to stay unless you keep feeding them. And the way you feed a thought is by giving it attention. You dwell on it. You repeat it. You build a story around it. Then, without knowing, you start acting according to that story. You don't take the risk. You don't speak up. You don't even try. Why? Because the thought already made the decision for you. You've got to interrupt those patterns. Not with force, but with awareness. When a thought shows up that says, I can't, you pause and ask, is that true? When your mind says, I always mess things up, you challenge it by remembering what you've done right. When your thoughts start drifting into fear, you guide them back to focus. This is a practice. It's not about perfection. It's about taking back control. Slowly, consistently, deliberately. You must create space between your thoughts and your actions. That space is where your power lives. If you remove the space, your thoughts will decide for you. But if you slow down, breathe, and choose with intention, you stop reacting and start responding. You make decisions based on values, not emotions. And that's when your life starts to change. Not on the outside first, but on the inside. Thoughts can become your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness. If you feed doubt, doubt will grow. If you feed fear, fear will spread. But if you feed focus, courage, and clarity, those will become your default. It won't happen in a day, but it will happen if you stay consistent. That's the part most people skip. They want results without repetition. But mastering your mind is not a one-time event. It's a daily commitment. One of the most important things you can do is choose what you allow into your mind. Your thoughts are shaped by what you consume. If you fill your day with negativity, gossip, distractions, and noise, don't be surprised when your mind feels chaotic. If you fill your environment with truth, discipline, and purpose, your thoughts will begin to reflect that. Choose your input carefully because it shapes your inner world. Spend time in silence. Give your mind time to breathe. Reflect on what you're thinking instead of always reacting to what you're feeling. Emotions pass, but thoughts can stick unless you're intentional. Silence gives you the chance to clean up the mess in your mind. That's where clarity is born, in stillness, in space, in reflection, not in distraction. Be careful with how you speak to yourself. Your internal dialogue becomes your mental foundation. If your thoughts constantly criticize you, they weaken your confidence. If they remind you of your failures, they block your future. But if you start speaking to yourself with direction, not judgment, with clarity, not confusion, you start to build a mind that supports you, not one that sabotages you. Start each day with intention. Don't wake up and go straight into reaction mode. Take a moment, set a direction. Train your mind to serve your day, not the other way around. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be positive all the time. But you do need to be present, because a present mind is a powerful one. It sees what's really happening, not what fear tries to predict. Every action you take is born from a thought. So if your actions are weak, scattered, or unproductive, it's not a behavior issue. It's a thinking issue. Get to the root. Ask yourself, what thought led me here? And then trace it back. That's where change happens. Not by pushing harder, but by thinking better. Actions follow thoughts. So if you want better habits, better behavior, better results, you've got to first have better thinking. Discipline your thoughts like you would discipline your body. Train them, strengthen them, test them, stretch them. And when they try to take the easy route, bring them back. You don't need to be perfect, but you need to be in charge. This is your mind. This is your life. Don't hand it over to fear or doubt or past patterns. The thoughts you allow today become the reality you experience tomorrow. Master them, choose them, shape them with intention. That's how you regain power over your actions. That's how you break old cycles. That's how you move forward, not by force, but by clarity. Not by pressure, but by awareness. You were never meant to be a victim of your mind. You were meant to lead it, guide it, train it to serve your goals, your values, your vision. And the moment you start doing that consistently, everything in your life begins to shift. Because your thoughts will no longer be the problem. They'll become your greatest source of strength. Number 4, delay gratification to secure long-term wealth. If you can learn to say no to what feels good now, you can say yes to everything you truly want later. That's the mindset that builds wealth. That's the mentality that separates those who struggle from those who succeed. The difference isn't intelligence or background or talent. The difference is the ability to delay gratification. It's the ability to pause, to hold off, to resist that quick hit of pleasure for the long-term rewards that matter so much more. The ability to wait is rare, but it's the foundation of every powerful life. In a world that tells you to have it all right now, to buy it, to spend it, to enjoy it without thinking, the real power is in self-restraint, not because it feels good immediately, but because it puts you in control. When you delay gratification, you tell your future, I'm serious about you. You shift your life from reactive to intentional. And that's how real wealth begins. Not with luck, but with decisions made in discipline. Wealth isn't about how much you make. It's about what you keep. It's about what you build. It's about what you consistently protect. and you protect it by holding back from the unnecessary, from the impulsive, from the short-term thrills that lead to long-term stress. Most people are stuck not because they can't earn, but because they can't wait. They trade their peace for moments of pleasure. They sabotage their own progress with instant decisions that don't serve their future. You got to train yourself to pause, to think, to ask, is this aligned with what I want later? Because if it's not, it's a distraction. If it's not, it's taking from your future. And your future is not a joke. It's your freedom. It's your peace. It's the life you're working to build. So when something tempts you to take the easy road, to spend what you haven't earned, to indulge just because it's convenient, stop. Remind yourself of where you're going. This isn't about deprivation. It's about direction. It's not about saying no forever. It's about saying not yet, so that when you say yes later, it's with pride, not regret. The delayed yes is stronger. It comes from preparation. It comes from structure. It comes from knowing you earned it. That's real wealth. Not flashing money, not chasing attention, but building something solid that no one can take from you. You have to understand that most people will never delay gratification. They're trapped in cycles. Earn, spend, stress, repeat. They never slow down. They never ask if what they're doing now is costing them their tomorrow. You can't live like that and expect to win. You can't move forward if you keep reaching back for comfort. Every time you give in to impulse, you feed weakness. Every time you delay it, you feed strength. And strength compounds. The strongest financial habits come from choosing purpose over pleasure. You don't have to say yes to every deal, every sale, every upgrade. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You just have to stay focused on what matters. Invest in what grows. Save what protects. Spend on what builds, not on what fades. And always remember that the goal isn't just to survive. It's to live with freedom. Freedom takes time. It takes patience. It takes discipline in moments where most people cave. Create systems that make it easier to wait. Automate your savings. Set clear budgets. Keep your goals visible. Make your environment support your choices. Because willpower alone will not always be enough. You need structure. You need reminders. You need boundaries that keep your focus in place. The more you automate discipline, the less you have to fight yourself. And that's how you win, by designing your life to support long-term thinking. When you delay gratification, you change your relationship with money. You stop seeing it as something to spend and start seeing it as a tool to build. You start thinking about growth, about investing, about ownership. You start protecting your time, your energy, your future. You shift from emotional decisions to intentional actions. And that shift changes everything. It's not flashy. It's not exciting. But it's powerful. And it works. Think of the people you admire most. The ones who built something lasting. They didn't do it by chasing every new thing. They did it by waiting. They did it by saying no when others said yes. They did it by making sacrifices now, so they could reap the rewards later. That mindset isn't natural. It's trained. But once you build it, it becomes your advantage. While others are chasing pleasure, you're building peace. While others are reacting, you're preparing. That's how you win. Wealth is a result of 1,000 moments of self-control. 1,000 moments of choosing purpose over pleasure. 1,000 moments where you pause, reflect, and decide to wait. Each moment builds on the last. Each decision creates momentum, and that momentum leads to freedom. Not someday, soon. Because when you stack discipline day after day, results begin to show. Not in one giant leap, but in steady progress that grows stronger over time. You've got to keep reminding yourself, what I want most is worth more than what I want now. That one thought can protect your future. That one mindset can guard you against waste, against chaos, against regret, because what you want now is often a distraction. But what you want most, that's your life. That's your vision. That's your peace of mind. And it's worth fighting for. Train yourself to think long. Ask yourself before every big decision, is this helping or hurting my future? And be honest. Don't justify. Don't make excuses. Just tell yourself the truth. Because if you get in the habit of choosing now over later, you'll always be stuck in the same place. But if you start choosing later, your life will start to shift. You'll feel it in your confidence, in your discipline, in your ability to stay calm when others panic. That's the beauty of delayed gratification. It doesn't just build wealth. It builds character. It builds patience. It builds leadership. It builds inner peace. Because you know you're living on purpose. You're not reacting to life. You're designing it. And that kind of life can't be bought. It must be earned. It must be protected. And it starts with one powerful choice. Wait. Wait for what matters. Wait for what builds. Wait for what lasts. Say no now so you can say yes forever. That's the mindset. That's the practice. That's the path. Delayed gratification. And you won't just grow your bank account. You'll grow yourself. You'll become someone who moves with intention. Someone who can handle more. Someone who has peace, not pressure. That's what long-term wealth is really about. Not just having money, but having the control, the clarity, and the confidence to know it was all built by choice. Your choice. Every day. Starting now. Number 5. Focus on goals, not emotions or distractions. If you want to change your life, stop letting emotions and distractions decide how you spend your time. Every day, you have a choice. Focus on your goals or fall into the trap of reacting to how you feel and what's pulling at your attention. This choice might seem small, but it shapes everything. People who build strong lives don't wait to feel motivated. They don't let a bad mood slow them down. They don't get lost in what doesn't matter. They know what they want, and they stay locked in, even when it's uncomfortable. The truth is, most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they lose focus. They wake up with a goal, but by noon, they're buried in distractions. Notifications, opinions, doubts, setbacks, scrolling, frustration. It all piles up. And instead of doing what moves them forward, they start reacting. They trade their vision for short-term comfort. And then they wonder why nothing changes. You can't live like that and expect to win. You have to become the kind of person who works the plan no matter what shows up. That means when your emotions get heavy, you keep going. That means when you're tired, bored, or frustrated, you don't check out. You stay in the game. You keep showing up because your future is too important to be left in the hands of mood swings and distractions. You need the target, a real one, a goal that matters, a goal that keeps you centered when everything around you tries to pull you away. Without a goal, you drift, you become reactive, you get caught in cycles. But with a goal, you get grounded. You stop wasting energy on things that don't build your future. You stop caring about every little inconvenience. You stop chasing approval. You start living with direction. Goals keep you steady. They give you a reason to say no to the nonsense. They help you measure progress. They remind you what matters. So write your goals down. Be specific. Be honest. Decide what you want. And more importantly, decide who you're willing to become to get there. Because goals without discipline are just wishes. And wishes don't build anything. Once you've got your goal, the next step is protecting your attention. You can't hit a target you're not aiming at. You can't build momentum if you're constantly shifting gears. So block out the noise. Turn off what distracts. Set boundaries. Build a system around your time. Make it harder to fall off track. Make it easier to stay aligned. You won't rise by chance. You rise by design. Don't wait for motivation. It's not dependable. Your emotions will change every hour. That's just reality. Some days you'll feel strong. Other days you'll feel off. But none of that changes the goal. And none of it changes the truth that discipline gets more done than emotion ever will. So train yourself to work even when you don't feel like it. That's where confidence comes from. Not from comfort, but from consistency. You've got to stop letting every distraction pull you off course. Not every message needs a reply. Not every opinion deserves your energy. Not every thought is worth believing. You don't need to fight every battle. You need to win the war for your focus. Your attention is one of your most valuable assets. If you waste it, you waste your potential. When your focus is strong, your decisions become sharper. You stop overthinking. You stop reacting emotionally. You start choosing what's aligned with your goals. That's how you make progress. Not through speed, but through clarity. When you're clear on what matters, you stop chasing everything. You stop feeling overwhelmed. You start making moves that build. It's easy to blame distractions, but the real work is learning to ignore them. That means putting your phone away. That means creating a space where you can think. That means managing your time with intention. It means checking in with yourself often. Are you doing what moves you forward? Or are you just keeping busy? Are you acting from purpose? Or are you avoiding discomfort? You can't expect your life to change if your mind is always scattered. Focus is your superpower. Protect it. Defend it. Use it to build the life you say you want. Don't just talk it, live it. When the temptation to scroll, to procrastinate, to argue, to quit shows up, remember your goal. Let it ground you. Let it guide you. Keep your goals visible. Read them every morning. Remind yourself of what you're building. The brain needs direction. It needs reinforcement. It needs repetition. The more you focus on your goals, the more your brain starts to filter out what doesn't matter. That's not magic. It's neuroscience. It's the reticular activating system doing its job. But you've got to give it a job to do. You've got to tell it, this is where I'm going. This is what matters. Make it your mission to show up every day with purpose. Not perfection, just purpose. Be the kind of person who keeps their word to themselves. Be the kind of person who does the work when it's boring, when it's hard, when it's inconvenient. Because that's how you win. That's how you separate yourself. Not by having fewer emotions or fewer distractions, but by choosing not to be controlled by them. Focus doesn't mean you never feel discouraged. It means you don't stop when you do. It means you keep taking steps, no matter how small. Every day you stay focused, you build strength. Every task you complete, you build momentum. Every moment you resist distraction, you build power. Over time, that power becomes your identity. It becomes your new standard. And your life rises to meet it. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the fastest. But if you stay focused, you will outlast everyone who's chasing feelings. You will build what others only talk about. You will create results that are earned, not wished for, not lucked into, earned. That kind of success lasts. So decide today that your goals are more important than your moods. Decide that your future matters more than today's convenience. Decide that you will not be a slave to distraction. You will not be ruled by emotion. You will stay grounded. You will stay intentional. You will stay focused, because that's the kind of person who builds real success. Not just once, but for life. Number 6, create a routine that strengthens mental toughness. If you want to be strong when life gets hard, you must train your mind before the struggle ever shows up. Mental toughness isn't something you're born with. It's something you build on purpose every single day. And the way you build it is through your routine. A routine that pushes you, a routine that disciplines you, a routine that doesn't ask how you feel before it demands action. That's the kind of routine that builds a strong, unshakable mind. Too many people think toughness is about being aggressive or never feeling doubt. That's not toughness. Real mental toughness is staying committed to your values and responsibilities, even when life throws curveballs. It's staying calm in chaos. It's following through when your emotions tell you to quit. That level of control doesn't come from random bursts of willpower. It comes from the structure you create for yourself. Your daily routine either builds you or breaks you. It either sharpens you or softens you. There is no in between. You need a routine that challenges your mind every single day. Not to overwhelm you, but to condition you. You need structure that doesn't wait for motivation. You need habits that move even when you don't feel moving. You need standards that are higher than your moods, because your feelings change. Your environment shifts. Life is unpredictable. But your routine, if it's built with intention, becomes your anchor. It holds you steady when everything else gets shaky. Start your day with a set of actions that put you in control. That might be getting up at the same time no matter how you slept. That might be going for a walk before you check your phone. That might be journaling, reflecting, reviewing your goals. Whatever it is, do it with full focus. No skipping, no bargaining. When you follow through, your brain starts to recognize that you're not here to play around. That's where mental strength begins. Not with big wins, but with small victories repeated daily. A strong routine keeps your mind disciplined. It helps you practice making decisions based on commitment, not comfort. That's a rare skill in today's world. Most people live by how they feel. If they're tired, they rest. If they're frustrated, they quit. If it's hard, they back down. But you can't build a powerful life with that kind of thinking. You have to build discipline into your system so that your actions aren't controlled by your feelings. Push yourself to do something uncomfortable every day. Not for the result, but for the mental training. It could be waking up earlier than you want. It could be finishing a task you've been avoiding. It could be exercising when your body feels lazy. These are not punishments. They're practice. They're sharpening your decision-making muscles. They're building resilience. They're helping you separate what's important from what's temporary. Mental toughness also comes from eliminating distractions. A strong mind is a focused mind. If your routine includes checking your phone every 5 minutes or jumping between tasks, you're weakening your attention. You're feeding mental laziness. Set boundaries, create time blocks. Turn off what doesn't serve you. Give your full attention to the task at hand. That level of focus builds discipline, and discipline builds strength. Keep your routine simple, but consistent. It's not about complexity. It's about reliability. The more you repeat something, the more automatic it becomes. And when the right actions become automatic, you no longer have to fight with yourself to do them. You just do. That's freedom. Not from hard work, but from the mental friction that slows most people down. That's what a routine does. It frees your mind by removing decision fatigue. Don't rely on motivation. Build habits that don't depend on how inspired you feel. There will be days when you're tired, discouraged, or overwhelmed. That's normal. But if your routine is strong, you won't need to feel amazing to show up. You'll show up because it's what you do. That kind of consistency gives you power. Not loud, flashy power, but quiet, steady strength. The kind that holds up under pressure. When setbacks hit, your routine becomes your anchor. It gives you something solid to fall back on. Most people spiral when things go wrong because they have no structure to keep them grounded. But if your routine is built discipline, it protects your mind. It keeps you centered. It keeps you focused on action, not emotion. That's how you stay in control, even when life is out of your control. Mental toughness also comes from keeping your word to yourself. If you say you're going to do something, do it. No excuses, no delays, no waiting for the perfect time. Following through, even on the small things, builds trust with yourself. And self-trust is the foundation of confidence. When you know you'll show up, no matter what, your mind becomes unshakable. That's not ego. That's earned strength. Rest must be part of your routine too. Not escape, not avoidance, but real recovery. Train your mind to know the difference. Don't hide behind rest when things get difficult. Rest to recharge, not to run. Use it wisely, then get back to work. Because the goal isn't to live an easy life. It's to build a strong one. And strength requires effort, structure, repetition, and clarity. You don't become mentally tough by accident. You build it on purpose. You do it by sticking to your routine on the days you want to give up. You do it by honoring your commitments even when nobody does. You do it by showing up again and again. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. If you want to become unshakable, you need to train daily. Not just your body, not just your schedule, but your mind. Train it to handle stress. Train it to reject excuses. Train it to stay calm in the storm. That's what mental toughness looks like. Not force, but discipline. Not perfection, but persistence. And it all begins with one simple choice. Build a routine that shapes the mind you need for the life you want. Start now. Stick with it. Strengthen it daily. And your future self will thank you for the power you chose to create, one consistent day at a time. Number 7, ignore opinions and stick to your own vision. If you spend your life chasing approval, you'll never have time to build your own vision. The truth is, if you want to create something meaningful, you have to stop looking over your shoulder. You have to stop waiting for permission. You have to stop explaining yourself to people who don't see what you see. Not everyone will understand your vision, and that's okay. It's not their job to get it. It's your job to believe in it, commit to it, and protect it from anything that tries to water it down. The moment you decide to take your path seriously, opinions will come at you from every direction. People will question your decisions. They'll doubt your timing. They'll suggest easier ways. They'll share their fears as is their facts. And if you're not grounded, you'll start to listen. You'll start to adjust. You'll start to hesitate. Not because your vision is weak, but because you gave weight to voices that don't carry your future. You have to remind yourself daily that your vision was given to you, not them. You saw something they didn't. You felt something they couldn't. You've lived through moments that shaped your direction. Nobody else has that perspective. Nobody else knows what burns inside of you. That fire wasn't placed there for public approval. It was placed there to guide you. So follow it, even when the crowd says otherwise. Even when it's unpopular. Even when it feels lonely. Most people will never go after what they really want. Not because they can't, but because they're too afraid of what others might think. They play it safe. They shrink their dreams. They choose comfort over conviction. You can't live like that. You can't build something extraordinary while constantly trying to blend in. If you want to lead, you have to stop waiting for the crowd to cheer you on. The crowd rarely cheers at the start. They watch. They judge. And only later, if you succeed, they celebrate. That means in the beginning, it's just you, your vision, your discipline, your effort. You'll question yourself at times. You'll feel misunderstood. But that's part of it. Every leader goes through that season. Every builder walks through that silence. Every visionary faces resistance before they earn respect. So when the noise comes, don't shrink. Stand taller. When opinions show up, don't react. Stay focused. When doubt circles you, don't fold. Keep moving. This world is loud. Everyone has something to say. Everyone has a standard they want to project onto you. If you let it all in, you'll drown. So protect your mind. Filter your input. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Not every opinion deserves a response. Not every piece of advice comes from experience. Just because someone is loud doesn't mean they're right. Just because someone is close doesn't mean they know what's best for you. Learn to separate feedback from fear. Some people offer insight because they care, but many speak from their own limitations. They're not trying to hurt you. They just can't imagine themselves doing what you're doing. So they try to talk you out of it. Don't take it personally, but don't take it seriously either. Let them live their story. You're writing a different one. Keep your vision in front of you every day. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Remind yourself why you started. The clearer you are, the less power opinions have over you. Uncertainty is what makes you vulnerable to distraction. But when you're locked in, when you know where you're headed, outside noise becomes background static. You hear it, but you don't follow it. You weren't built to blend in. You weren't built to follow every suggestion. You were built to lead your life. And leadership starts with ownership. Take ownership of your time, your focus, your path, and your wins. Own your mistakes. Own your progress. When you take full responsibility for your direction, you stop needing validation. You stop waiting for applause. You keep going, whether people notice or not. Build quiet confidence. The kind that doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. The kind that comes from doing the work, staying disciplined, and trusting the process. Let your actions speak. Let your consistency do the talking. Over time, results will silence opinion. Over time, your growth will speak louder than any doubt. But you'll never get there if you keep adjusting your path for people who won't walk it with you. You have to become obsessed with your vision, not in a noisy, flashy way, but in a committed, focused way. That means saying no to distractions. That means distancing yourself from people who constantly question your direction. That means spending more time with people who speak your language, who value discipline, ambition, and focus. Surround yourself with people who understand silence, not just noise. People who are busy building, not just talking. Staying loyal to your vision doesn't mean you're closed off. It means you're clear. It means you've decided to stop compromising your future for temporary approval. It means you trust yourself more than you trust strangers' opinions. That's not arrogance. That's maturity. That's growth. That's strength. You've seen what's possible, and you're not going to let noise blind you to it. One of the greatest forms of freedom is not needing everyone to agree with you. You don't need the world to clap for you before you take the first step. You don't need your family to understand every detail. You don't need your friends to believe before you've proven anything. All you need is your next step. All you need is your discipline. All you need is your own belief. Stronger than your fear, louder than the doubt. So if you have a vision, protect it. If you have a goal, pursue it. If you hear opinions that don't serve you, ignore them. Not with anger, but with focus. Smile, nod, and keep building. You don't owe anyone your explanation. You owe yourself your future. And the only way to build it is to stop letting every outside voice dictate your next move. Be the kind of person who's so focused on their vision that the opinions start to fade into the background. Be the kind of person who doesn't flinch when others don't understand. Be the kind of person who wakes up every day with direction, not doubt. Because in the end, it's not the noise that stops most people. It's their response to it. But you're different. You're grounded. You're clear. You're ready. You don't need to be understood. You just need to be consistent. Keep going. Your vision is worth it. Number 8, take full control of your time and energy. If you don't take control of your time and energy, someone else will. And they won't use it to build your dreams. Every single day, you're given 2 things you can never get back: your time and your energy. How you use them decides the quality of your life. Most people treat time like it's unlimited and energy like it's free. And then they wonder why they feel behind, burned out, and stuck. The truth is, success doesn't come from working harder. It comes from using your time and energy with precision, with purpose, and with full responsibility. You have to wake up and understand that your time is your power. Every minute you give away to distraction, to meaningless tasks, to people who drain you, it's gone. You don't get it back. And it doesn't just disappear quietly. It takes opportunities with it. It delays progress. It holds back your momentum. If you want to change your life, the first thing you must do is take back your schedule. You must know where your hours are going, and you must stop spending them on things that don't matter. Your energy is your fuel. It's limited. It's not something you can waste and expect to function at your best. You've got to protect it. That means saying no more often. That means stepping away from chaos. That means not letting every little thing steal your attention. You can't keep giving your best energy to your phone, to negative conversations, to people who only show up to take. You have to become selective, not because you're selfish, but because you're focused. Start tracking your time. Know what you're doing every hour. Most people think they're busy. They're not busy. They're distracted. They confuse motion with progress. They check 100 things off a to-do list, but never move closer to their actual goals. If you don't know where your time is going, you won't know what to fix. You won't know what to remove. And you'll stay stuck in cycles that exhaust you. Build a schedule that reflects your priorities. If something matters, it needs space in your calendar. If you say health matters, when are you moving your body? If you say growth matters, when are you reading, learning, or reflecting? If you say your goals matter, where is the time blocked for execution? If it's not scheduled, it's not serious. Don't leave important things up to chance. Structure brings clarity. Clarity gives you freedom. Guard your mornings. That's when your energy is highest. Don't waste those early hours scrolling, reacting, or answering everybody else's questions. Use that time to set the tone. Move your body. Plan your day. Do the hard thing first. The morning is your chance to win before the world even wakes up. If you control the start of your day, you increase your chances of controlling the rest of it. Avoid multitasking. It drains energy and destroys focus. Your brain works best in deep focus, not scattered attention. Pick one task. Do it with full presence. Finish it, then move on. You'll get more done in less time, and you'll feel more energized instead of mentally drained. Busyness is not the goal. Progress is. You're not here to do everything. You're here to do what matters and do it well. Be honest about your energy leaks. What people, habits, or environments leave you feeling tired and frustrated? It's not always about doing more. It's about doing less of what drains you. Cut the small talk that leads nowhere. Cut the habits that steal your focus. Cut the commitments you made out of guilt. Every yes is a no to something else. Make sure you're not saying yes to things that rob you of your strength. Protect your attention like you protect your most valuable asset, because it is. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Check your messages on your time, not everyone else's. Block out time for deep work. Take breaks that actually recharge you. Go outside. Sit in silence. Breathe. Rest isn't laziness. It's preparation. When you rest with purpose, you return with power. You think clearer. You move sharper. You perform better. Stop thinking you have to do everything yourself. Delegate. Automate. Simplify. You don't get points for burnout. You get results by focusing on the highest value tasks that align with your goals. Eliminate what's unnecessary. Spend less time managing chaos and more time building structure. It's not about being busy. It's about being effective. There's a difference. Make your routine non-negotiable. Show up for yourself, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. That's how you build self-respect. That's how you train your mind to move without relying on emotion. The more consistent you are with your time and energy, the more confident you become. Confidence isn't just about belief. It's about discipline. When you know you'll follow through, you don't doubt your ability. You trust it. You must also learn how to say no without guilt. Every time you say yes to something that's not aligned, You say no to something that is. Your time is not for sale to the loudest voice or the easiest option. Use it wisely. Spend it where it counts. Your energy is not endless. Preserve it for what drives your mission. That's not selfishness, that's purpose. Take full ownership. Stop blaming distractions. Stop blaming other people. Stop blaming your environment. Your time is yours. Your energy is yours. And your results are your responsibility. Nobody's coming to organize your life. Nobody's coming to fix your calendar. You have to decide that your life is worth managing, that your potential is worth protecting, that your mission is worth showing up for. Time and energy are the currency of achievement. Don't waste them. Don't give them to people who don't value them. Don't trade them for quick fixes and empty entertainment. Use them to build. Use them to grow. Use them to shape a life that reflects who you truly are and what you're capable of becoming. The most successful people in the world aren't superhuman. They're just intentional. They plan their days. They guard their focus. They treat energy like gold. And they make decisions based on long-term purpose, not short-term comfort. That's what separates them. And that's available to you too. You just have to decide. Starting today, take control. Don't let the world dictate how you spend your hours. Don't let emotions decide how much energy you give. Be the one who runs the day, not the one who gets run over by it. That's where real power begins. That's how transformation takes shape, when you finally say, this is my time, this is my life, and I will use both with intention. Number 9, say no to anything that weakens your focus. If you want to achieve anything meaningful in life, you must learn to protect your focus like your future depends on it. Because it does. The world is full of noise. Distractions are everywhere. And if you say yes to every invitation, every message, every new opportunity that doesn't align with your purpose, you will never make progress. You don't need more hours in the day. You need fewer things pulling you away from what matters. Every time you let something steal your focus, you delay your success. The fastest way to stay stuck is to keep saying yes to things that don't push you forward. You have to understand that your attention is a limited resource. It's not infinite. You only get so much focus in a day before your mind starts to wear down. That's why it matters where you put it. If you give your focus to gossip, drama, unnecessary tasks, or mindless scrolling, you're not just wasting time. You're weakening your clarity. You're giving away the mental energy you need to build your life. And you're handing it over to things that give you nothing in return. You need to get comfortable saying no. Not just to bad habits, but to average ones. You need to say no to opportunities that look good, but don't align. You need to say no to people who want your attention but aren't helping you grow. You need to say no to tasks that make you feel productive, but leave you empty at the end of the day. Saying no doesn't make you rude. It makes you serious. It means you understand that focus is the foundation of growth. Every yes you give has a cost. You don't see it right away, but it shows up. It shows up in scattered energy. It shows up in incomplete goals. It shows up in anxiety, in fatigue, in that nagging feeling that you're always busy but never getting anywhere. That's what happens when you say yes to everything except the one thing that matters. So start choosing with intention. Before you agree to anything, ask yourself, does this move me closer to where I want to be? If the answer is no, then the answer is no. You need space to think. You need room to build. You need uninterrupted time to create, to reflect, to grow. And you won't have that if you're constantly giving yourself away to every demand that pops up. Start designing your environment to support focus. Turn off what doesn't serve you. Mute the noise. Schedule blocks of time where you disconnect from the world and reconnect with your vision. That's how you create breakthroughs. Not by working harder, but by working clearer. Stop letting other people's urgency become your emergency. Not everything needs an instant response. Not every message needs to be answered right away. You're not obligated to be available all the time. You're obligated to protect your mission. You're obligated to show up for your goals. That means putting boundaries in place. That means being willing to contemplate people in the short term so you can build something real in the long term. Saying no takes courage. It takes confidence. It takes clarity. But the more you do it, the stronger you get. At first, it might feel uncomfortable. You might feel guilty. You might second guess yourself. But over time, you'll realize that every no you give to distraction is a yes to your purpose. Every no to comfort is a yes to growth. Every no to what's easy is a yes to what's meaningful. You have to train your mind to value depth over noise. Don't fall into the trap of being everywhere and doing everything. That spreads you thin, that keeps you average. Focus means you choose one path and walk it with intensity. It means you go deep instead of wide. It means you don't chase every shiny object that shows up just because it's new or exciting. You've got goals. You've got work to do. Stay locked in. Start practicing the discipline of elimination. Look at your calendar. Look at your habits. Look at your relationships. What's helping you move forward? What's holding you back? What's adding clarity? What's creating confusion? Remove the clutter. Cut the noise. Free your mind. You'll be shocked at how much better you feel when you're not constantly being pulled in 100 directions. Protect your mornings. Protect your evenings. Protect the hours when you feel most alert, most creative, most focused. Don't give those precious hours away to things that don't build your vision. Guard your energy like a treasure, because it is. You cannot build something powerful when your mind is scattered. You cannot become who you're meant to be if you're always reacting to everyone else's demand. Start each day with intention. Know what matters. Know what moves the needle. Know what your non-negotiables are. And say no to everything that tries to interfere with them. Don't apologize for being focused. Don't shrink yourself for the sake of making everyone else comfortable. Your goals don't need permission. They need action. They need time. They need you to be present and fully engaged. You are not here to please everyone. You are here to become the best version of yourself. And that requires clarity. It requires consistency. It requires cutting out anything that weakens your direction. If something doesn't line with your purpose, release it. If someone constantly drains your energy, limit your exposure. If a habit keeps derailing your progress, replace it with something that strengthens you. Focus is freedom. When you're clear on your priorities, you stop being pulled around by everything else. You stop feeling overwhelmed. You stop wasting time. You move with intention. You get more done in less time. And you feel better doing it. Because you're not scattered. You're centered. Don't wait for the perfect moment to get focused. Don't wait until things settle down. Start now. Start by saying no to one thing today that doesn't serve you. Then do it again tomorrow. Then the next day. Over time, you'll notice that your clarity increases. Your stress decreases. Your progress multiplies. Because you're finally giving your full energy to what matters most. This is your life. This is your time. This is your vision. Don't waste it on distractions. Don't trade it for temporary comfort. Don't let noise steal your greatness. Say no to anything that weakens your focus. And watch how everything begins to align. You don't need more hours. You just need more clarity, more boundaries, and more decisions that protect your future. Focus hard. Say no often. Build with purpose. And never forget, you have the power to choose what gets your attention. Use that power wisely. Number 10, commit daily to doing what must be done. The life you want isn't built in one decision. It's built by showing up every single day and doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is filled with choices you have to make daily. Not once, not occasionally, but every day without fail. Success doesn't respond to random effort. It responds to consistent commitment. If you want to move forward in life, you must get serious about doing the work that needs to be done, even when no one's watching, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's boring. Discipline means doing the necessary things without needing to be reminded. It means honoring the process instead of chasing convenience. It means showing up for yourself when your motivation runs out. You have to treat your commitment like a promise, not a preference. Too many people wait to feel inspired before they act. But inspiration is unpredictable. What's predictable is the power of consistent action. And when you build the habit of doing what must be done, day after day, you become unstoppable. Stop looking for the perfect time. There's no perfect time. There's only now. The person who waits for conditions to be right never gets anything meaningful done. You've got to act despite resistance. You've got to commit despite distractions. You've got to move forward even when your mind is filled with doubts. Because the truth is, the work doesn't care how you feel. It just demands to be done. And when you build the mental toughness to do it anyway, you begin to trust yourself. You begin to believe that you're the kind of person who keeps going no matter what. What must be done is often simple, but never easy. It's the call you need to make, the task you've been putting off, the habit you promised to follow through on. It's the thing that moves the needle in your life, but you've been avoiding because it's not comfortable. Comfort is the enemy of growth, and the longer you delay what must be done, the more pain you create for yourself down the road. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts much longer. Choose wisely. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do the essential things, and you need to do them without compromise. That means no excuses. That means no half efforts. That means no putting it off until tomorrow. Tomorrow is not the answer. Consistency is. Progress doesn't come from occasional intensity. It comes from daily follow-through. The people who build something great in life are not always the most talented. They're just the ones who stayed committed when others quit. Wake up each day and decide who you're going to be. Are you going to be the person who gives in to how they feel? Or are you going to be the person who follows through on what they said they'd do? Because your identity is shaped by your actions. If you show up every day and do the work, you build a new standard for yourself. And once your standards rise, your results follow. Success respects effort. It respects those who keep going through boredom, fatigue, setbacks, and rejection. It respects those who keep working when it's inconvenient. Those who understand that emotions are not instructions, that comfort is not a guide, that laziness is not truth. The more you practice discipline, the less you need to negotiate with yourself. You stop thinking about it. You just do it. You stop arguing with your alarm clock. You stop debating whether you feel like it today. You already know the answer. You already know what must be done. Build structure in your day. Don't just hope for discipline. Create the environment for it. Set a routine that supports your goals. Create systems that keep you accountable. Plan your time before someone else does. When your schedule is clear, your mind becomes clear. And a clear mind is focused. And a focused mind gets results. Take control of your habits. Your daily habits are either helping you build or slowly tearing down your momentum. There will be days you don't want to do it. Days you feel off. Days you want to quit. But those days matter most. Anyone can work hard when they're excited, but very few keep going when the excitement wears off. That's what separates the disciplined from the inconsistent. That's what turns goals into achievements. It's not what you do once that shapes your life. It's what you do over and over. Even when it's hard, hold yourself to a higher standard. Don't let yourself off the hook every time things get difficult. Growth lives on the other side of discomfort. It's supposed to challenge you. It's supposed to stretch you. It's not meant to feel easy. But it's worth it. Every rep, every task, every moment of resistance you push through is making you stronger. You don't see the results right away, but you're building a foundation, one brick at a time. You're not always going to feel like showing up. And that's okay. You don't need to feel like it. You just need to do it. The key is to stop making your actions dependent on your mirrors. Emotions change, but the mission doesn't. Let the mission guide you. Let your commitment become your identity. Let consistency replace motivation. Because motivation fades, life gets noisy. But if you've trained yourself to act daily, no matter what, you can keep building even in the storm. Decide now that you're the type of person who finishes what they start. That you're not moved by pressure. That you don't need everything to be perfect to begin. That you don't rely on ideal circumstances to act. You act because you have standards. You act because you have goals. You act because you made a decision and you follow through on your decision. If you want peace, if you want results, if you want to live a life you're proud of, commit daily to doing what must be done. No shortcuts, no excuses, no waiting for someone to hold your hand. Be your own accountability. Be your own motivation. Show up even when no one's clapping for you. Show up when it's hard. Show up when it's quiet. Show up when it's lonely. Because every time you do, you move one step closer to the life you deserve. You are not stuck. You are not broken. You are not too late. You just need to start doing the work, and you need to do it every single day. Start small, stay consistent, build trust with yourself, and never underestimate the power of daily discipline. It is not the big moments that transform your life. It's the simple decision, repeated over time, to do what must be done. Starting today, starting now, and again tomorrow.